Hello there and welcome back to another installment of SCP Readings with your reader here, Gmodon. Today we're looking at SCP-2357. There's a link down in the description for you to follow along as I read out loud. SCP-2357 is the text of the document that you are reading. Yes, this one. You are currently reading SCP-2357, which is its own documentation. It has several memetic properties, which you have no doubt already noticed but will be listed here for completeness' sake, that will activate upon observation, causing the reader to exhibit adoration for and admiration of SCP-2357, much in the same way one would adore a treasured work of literature or a beautiful mathematical formula, even though it deviates egregiously from technical writing standards. Personnel will be inclined to make copies and place them in prominent areas. I don't like how this paragraph ended, so I'll add more text. Now is a good time for me to tell you to clean up your drool if this is your first time. A desire to share SCP-2357 with Foundation personnel. This is limited to those who the reader either has authority over or has regular contact with, unfortunately. Getting it to override social norms would have been risky. Disinclination to create additional documentation surrounding SCP-2357. Edit the original documentation, which again is SCP-2357 itself, or create any derivatives of SCP-2357. Thus, SCP-2357 is a solitary source of information on SCP-2357. SCP-2357's memetic properties can only be conveyed properly to an individual with an understanding of the standard format of an SCP summary report, as well as a basic understanding of the Foundation's stated purpose and known methods. The net effect will be SCP-2357's propagation through all Foundation communication channels until a copy is available to almost every staff member, as each individual considers it worthy of keeping and sharing. Addendum. A word from the author. Hello. My name is Dr. Vanessa Graff. If that name already means something to you, you can probably already guess what this is all about. Consider this a retroactive letter of resignation. I will have disappeared just about the day before you will find this. If this is the first time you've heard of me, you probably deserve an explanation. In 2028, 2 years ago, at time of writing, I proposed research on the possibility of, in layman's terms, piggybacking a meme on an info hazard. Placing knowledge about an object inside the knowledge of the object, if you have enough clearance. SCP-2357 is a proof of concept. The knowledge of its existence, primed with almost any of the text, delivers several memes directly to the brain, which prompt the reader to finish the document and receive the remainder of the information within it. The result is the full nuances of a meme with the penetrative capabilities of an info hazard. I would have preferred to explain this more properly in the descriptive section, but I couldn't work it in around the memetic triggers. I could have made a purely trivial example, say an apple that smells like oranges, and if you taste something quite unpleasant right now, it means that I've since done that, if not for external factors. Project Director Joseph Botha, who is not a memeticist or infohazard specialist but a neuroscientist, discarded my research application to get funding for an actually potentially beneficial project without a second glance, calling it nonsensical, grounded in pseudoscience, and seriously not actually possible. My fellow employees were not any more receptive, despite being ostensibly qualified for their positions. This and a few other incidents, which would bore you anyways, have proven that the Foundation is a backwards, stifling bureaucracy made of people who care more about getting their egos massaged than doing what they were hired to do. The containment doctrine does not protect humanity and stifles its advances. I have found employment with a competitor online. You need to secure your network connections, you idiots, who recognizes the potential value of my research and whose goals are less masturbatory. SCP-2357 is a wake-up call. The higher-ups need to invest in and research memetics and info hazards and stop treating your most talented scientists like Galileo or someone who will come to the same conclusions I have and decide that the SCP Foundation is ripe for the picking. I may not like you very much, but I know that there are worse people out there. With all due respect, read "Fuck you and I'm gone." Dr. Vanessa Graff. P.S. I could have killed you all, easily. Or worse. Aren't you glad that I'm not a sociopath? This SCP is an example, a very good example, of a man-made SCP. An SCP that was created as a sort of payback to the Foundation from one of its employees and a letter of resignation to boot. Its mimetic qualities aside, I really think this is a unique and interesting SCP. It's a kind of SCP I don't think I've seen before. It takes a step back from the usual norm of SCPs that are dangerous or deadly or even creepy, and it just plays it as some sort of mind game. It just goes to show that those within the Foundation have a lot of power to create truly interesting and mind-altering things. It really is the perfect SCP. So that has been SCP-2357. Thank you for joining me on this reading. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.